trick that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Welcome to A Creator-Based Life, the podcast for CMH Coaching for Life, episode 139. Next week it'll be 140, and we're that much closer to 150, which is that much closer to 200. I mean, it just keeps going. So we are here this week on the very first week of our Confident Connection series. We've got 9 weeks of being able to talk about the connections that we make with our family, our communities, our friends, all of the different holiday connections that we make, and how to do that in a way that makes your heart beat, no matter who you're with. So I'm here with Jacine Bonnet, I think.
She turned off her mic and her thing, so I think.
But I promise you guys, she was here when we first got started. I'm sure
There she is.
I'm here. That's that call that I told you was coming.
Oh, are they coming? Because we can pause.
We have about 25 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so y'all, time limit today. Jacine's getting a mattress, and they'll be here in 25 minutes. Yes, we're rooting her on. It's going to be great. Okay, so I'm here with Jacine Bonnet, a business coach who is just amazing. And Jacine's got the year-end review class coming up on December 11th that she'll be presenting for us. And I'm here with Jennifer DeRoos, who just finished an amazing class, the What's Your Word class. And Jen's a hypnotherapist and also a great creator-based coach in her own right. So we're here today to talk about those connections. And one of the things that came up for me, and if you saw the Monday Morning Inspiration today, you may have seen this, was this time in 2019, we were doing a rehab in the little apartment that is now our Airbnb out here at Safe Haven Retreat. And my boys and I were so excited about how the rehab that Seth picked me up and twirled me around in the apartment. It was so fun until I landed. And when I landed funny on my ankle and rolled it and went down. It was the week before Christmas, and I really thought I'd broken it. It just was, and Seth just felt terrible. I broke my mother, right? And so I just all I could do was get them to help me hobble over to where I could get some ice on it and start working and treating it. And it turned out it wasn't broken, but I was trying to finish all the last minute Christmas stuff. We
Right.
were going down to see the kids. We had all the stuff to finish, and it hurt. Ultimately, I ended out getting one of those little scooters that I could scoot around in and let it rest, and
Yep.
a boot. But what I found was, yeah, my ankle was better scooting around like that, but the rest of me hurt. My low back started to hurt because of the way I was walking on the boot. My shoulder started to hurt because of the way I was turning to compensate for my low back. My knee started to hurt from being on the scooter. And pretty soon I just hurt all over from this ankle thing, which I found really fascinating. It reminded me of that song about how all the different parts of the body are connected,
Yeah,
the
your leg
knee
bones
bones
connected to
connected.
your, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's all connected. Well,
Mm.
from there, it went to, well, if my body works that way, God never does anything without it being a pattern. So how does that apply to what I'm doing with my family right now? Because I'm really cranky because I hurt all over and I have so much to do for Christmas.
Mhm.
And I began to see the repercussions and the vibrations and the way things were shifting because of my personal behavior in the way things were affecting family. And then affecting my family, it affected the other families. And I began to see this same connection, which is where the whole confidence connection course came from, because we are all connected. If I come in cranky, I come home from, or Troy comes home cranky from bad traffic. The guys in the traffic who we actually had somebody follow him home not too long ago with road rage, where he actually wouldn't come home. He drove around until the guy finally left him alone.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh.
about the effect that that person had on us and the people around us. We all just are so connected. So
Wow.
confident connections. And as we're moving into the holidays, how great would it be to have connections that we felt good about? So let's just talk about that. How does that work? What do we do?
Yeah, like one of the questions I know we've been discussing, in fact, we had on our Monday morning miracle call, we had just a brief discussion about, is there anyone, and you guys, I'm posing this to everybody out in our audience, is there anyone in your circle that maybe causes a little bit of either like fingernails on the chalkboard,
Let's just say that turns your head inside out.
Yeah.
turns your head inside out, or you just want to avoid, you got to do
Or
this,
I'd rather not go to that event because they're going to be there.
yeah, making that choice. Yeah, yeah. So, um, posing that to you guys, think about that as we have this discussion today. And, how is it that we can go confidently and be a part of our family and have that beautiful light and energy that we want to have,
That we
you
want
know,
to share,
that we
right?
want to share, that we want to have. And yeah, what do we do? Jen, what do we do? Have you had that experience? Like, tell us. Have you had that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Um, this may not be what you want to hear, but
You know what? It all counts. We prayed.
It matters. It
Yeah,
matters.
it matters.
there comes a point when I think if it is too much, that's destroying too much of your own peace, you just don't go.
Mm.
But I mean, you can go knowing already beforehand, this is most likely what's going to happen. And this is how I react to this. Do I want to react or do I want to show up differently? I mean, you can do that.
Mhm.
And, already have within your mind, because usually these people, what their
It's a
modus,
pretty
modus
predictable
operandi is.
scenario.
Yeah, you know what they're going to say, you know what they're going to do, you know how they're going to react. And so you have to say, okay, how am I going to show up differently? If that's what you want to do. And
Right.
sometimes that's what you have to do because it's, part of, being part of the group or being part of the family. Usually it's a family thing, right?
Yeah. Well, and sometimes there are people counting on you to be there so that your light will
Yeah.
overcome some of that negative,
Yeah.
you know.
So, you really just have to, I think, have to weigh it out. I mean, I had to at one point just say it's not
Not
it's
this
not
year.
beneficial, and had to advocate for my own peace of mind and my own mental safety, even so, to not do that. But because you don't have to go to these toxic events, put yourself in these potentially toxic
Environment.
relationships if you don't really want to. I mean, like you're not required to. Um, so I mean, like I
You're
said,
saying
it's
make
not
it
what you want to hear, but
No,
No,
but
but
we
you
have to
do
be
have the
careful.
power to choose.
yes, you do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Self-compassion, right? That's
Yeah.
self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, I do.
So-
I do understand what you're saying, Beth, about like maybe you being there is what somebody else in the group needs to be fortified and share the light, things like that. Yeah.
You gotta weigh it with
You gotta weigh
self-compassion.
it out.
Right?
You gotta weigh it out. Maybe everybody's a dumpster fire and you just don't want to be burnt,
You don't want to be consumed by the fire. But
Right.
if you do, if you are in a situation, even if you're not prepared in that situation, there are these 5 R's that we teach in Mastermind. And when you said react, that got me thinking about the R's, that we can choose the R's. I feel like a pirate when I do that. The R, right? Um, you can choose to work through the R's while you're in your situation. A little levity doesn't hurt either, right?
Be the pirate of your family.
And be the R, the pirate. But the when you hear things, you don't have to immediately react. You want to take us through the R's, Jacine? And we can kind of talk about those.
I do mine a little different.
Okay, I'll do them. I'll do them.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Okay,
Okay.
so when you hear it said, that thing that kind of makes your skin crawl a little bit, where you really feel like I want to correct that because that's just plain wrong. To begin with, you can choose, instead of reacting, to just take a breath and plan a response. So the first R that we go through is breathe
Mhm.
and choose to respond. Now, before anything comes out of your mouth, you might need a couple of other R's, right? R's.
Right.
You might need to, yes, because that might actually be what's happening. You're R, before anything comes out of your mouth. So you might need to reframe what was said. For me, when I reframe something internally that was offensive to me or that was just so off in left field that I just really want to roll my eyes, I like to do it with humor. And I like to I'm a really imaginative storyteller. And so I can frame it in a way that seriously entertains me and takes away the skin crawl and lets me feel a lot more lighthearted.
Right.
I'll think maybe he had worms in his breakfast cereal this morning. That's really something for him. Or something like that. And it helps me to begin to reframe, because my first thought might have been, why has he got to be like that? Right. And I would want to just react. But when I take a breath and choose to respond and then to reframe, that leads me to reimagining. Well, what if we were in a little bit different situation? Or, just kind of exploring with it. Now, all of this is happening while the group is trying to figure out what to do with that comment as well.
Yeah. Truth.
But I have had that time to breathe, and I have had that time to, if I must say, kind of entertain myself and step back a little bit. I've reframed, I've reimagined, and then I'm ready to respond. And that really helps me just take a step back from being totally emotionally engaged in the situation. When I've done my 4 Rs, there's always room for a 5th one after the fact. And that may be involving my going out on the front porch with my drink to sit for a little bit.
Retreat.
I like retreat. Or it might be restore or recreate, right? But
Yeah.
it's a little bit of time to come back to who I am, who I know I am. But because I was so activated by whatever happened to begin with, I needed to choose a response by recreating, reimagining, reframing, And then maybe I said something. Maybe I said something lovely. Maybe I said something that was sharp enough to make somebody rethink what they said. But I chose a response,
Mhm.
and it was a determined response. And then I regrouped, retreated, reframed. Yeah.
Sometimes
Reframed.
no response though is what needs
Sometimes no response is enough.
True,
yeah.
true.
You can actually just
Walk
send
away.
a vibe,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
I don't know how many times I've thought, oh, that's so sad for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just left it,
Yes.
and talked about the weather for a couple of minutes before we were
Yeah.
ready to move on to the next topic.
Redirect.
Redirect. There's a lot of really good
Boundaries.
R's out there that don't involve walking the plank, y'all.
Exactly.
Oh, but sometimes you just want them to walk the plank.
Sometimes you
Off
do.
with your head. Out of here.
But the bottom line is, I think our light makes a difference. Yeah. And so when you do choose to go to something and somebody is inappropriate in one way or another, you have the power to choose and to still be that singular little, LED lights are so tiny. Those little tiny flashlights, they're so tiny. But when you put them in a dark room, the whole room lights up.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that could be you.
Well, and I think something in that, because I just had an experience over the last weekend. It was a wedding, my niece's wedding, and all the family,
Hmm?
you know,
Did you
all
have some interesting comments among all the family?
there were a couple of really interesting comments, right? And they were from participants that you're going to have some interesting comments from, right?
Yeah, people with history.
And, yeah, and what I found myself doing this time, which has been different than in times before, is hearing the comment and directed at me and receiving it,
Mhm.
and then taking the breath and checking in with my Heavenly Father and
Yes, that's an
saying,
integral part of
"Okay,
response.
okay, God, that really hurt. That one really
What
hurt.
do I do with this one?
Yeah, can you please help me know how to respond to this?
Mhm.
Like, help me know how to respond."
Yeah.
And and one time it was just, I don't think you really meant to say it in this tone,
Oh,
but
what a kind thing.
yeah, but this is how I received it. And the person was like, "Oh, no, no, I didn't mean it like that." But that was
Nice.
a response at that time, right? And
Mhm.
not always is it going to be that with that same person, but it was very different, and that's because my Heavenly Father knew what they were going to be open to, and it calmed everything, and everyone surrounding that heard it, it there was peace, right? It was the light of Christ shining through me because I chose that higher and holier way, and that higher and holy way is always to check in with my
I
Heavenly.
like JC, and I like how you said that because even it gave the opportunity for any misunderstanding to be cleared by the other person. That even if maybe whoever that was did act out of a little snarkiness or whatever,
Mhm.
it kind of gave a boundary of saying this really isn't appropriate. I'm going to give you the opportunity to save face.
Can you clarify this for me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and make it kind of like more peaceful because maybe you're activated too and didn't really mean that, but somebody. And
right.
I just really like how you gave the opportunity for the other person to backpedal if needed to
Mhm.
make a peaceful situation.
And
Mm,
and what also the ripple effects of that,
mm,
guys, was, and I haven't thought about this, I love this discussion. So the ripple effects from that were everyone who heard. It wasn't any side conversations. "Oh, can you believe what this person said
It
to
cleared it all out.
There.
Like, can you believe like, because those side conversations have happened in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that ripple
Being
effect
human, we all
was
kind of love drama a little bit.
we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of good. I like that because it's giving the person the benefit of the doubt. Like, this is how I perceived and took it. clarify for me, because I don't really think you would do that, and if they did have some of that, they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Sound like you.
I did, sound that way, or maybe not, like, oh, absolutely not. But I love that you just cleared up any type of confusion or possibility for, like, as Beth said, more talking. Yeah.
When you ask.
Right.
Jacine has that gift of courage to be able to speak up in a group.
I just retreat.
Those of us who retreat instead.
Away.
Let's talk about maybe how to have the courage
Mhm.
and how to discern. I think checking with your creator really did give you a different
Oh,
take, a lot more
100%.
courage there.
Because I was injured. Like it was a knife, right?
It
And
was big.
it was just because it was reoccurring, right?
Huh?
It was a reoccurrence. Um and so that pain from before immediately came back, right?
Mhm.
But it is in that take a breath, get out of the fight,
Yeah.
flight or freeze, right? The blow your
Yeah.
head thing that Jen teaches us about. Um, yeah, taking that breath allowed me to then say, wait a second. And I've been working on trying to check in with my Heavenly Father, my Creator, so much, because I want to be in sync with Him. And that isn't the way that I normally would have responded. That was direct revelation from Him
Yes.
and
And
for our
he is
family.
right there to give it to you anytime you ask.
Mhm,
I love that he is so available to us. We just have to ask.
mhm.
Yeah, that we're there. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. How's your heart now?
It's good. I was able to let that go. Even, at the end of the whole the whole family event,
Uh-huh.
uh, I didn't feel that resonance. It was done.
Yes.
It was done with.
The tug, where all
Yeah.
somebody needed to do was just kind of poke it a little bit and get you started again. So you didn't have that cyclical thinking, coulda,
Mm-mm.
shoulda,
No.
woulda, oh, how dare they? All of that was avoided.
Right. And I could give them a hug and say, "I am so happy I got to see you. It's been a long time." Right? And
Uh-huh.
and mean it.
What a
So,
gift.
yeah, it was a
That's an
huge
incredible
gift.
gift for just cultivating the ask, to check
Mhm,
in with your creator and to ask.
mhm.
And then to follow up on that thought, well, maybe they didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
And to have the courage to say something. I probably could have had courage to say something, that being in that path.
Well,
Yeah.
especially when the words are given to you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's really
that's the
good.
key.
Yeah,
Because I would have said something, but it maybe wouldn't have been given from God.
right, right?
Yeah, that's why I retreat.
But
Well,
it
and I
really does
think
make such a difference. If Jacine had had a hard time and hadn't addressed it in the group in that way, where it was inspired and directed, and she'd asked God for help, then it would have been different for many, many, many different people in
it
that.
would have been. There were several people that overheard it that were there. Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
ripple effect.
and there was no side conversations.
No, because you shut it down with clarity.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a huge, huge win.
Huge
Good
gift.
job.
I know. Look at
Good
you.
job. Look at you all grown up.
I'm growing up.
Ah, good job. Good job.
Yes.
All right. Well, on that happy note, let's talk about book club. We're starting into Brene Brown's book. It's November.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
How's
starting
that
in
going?
We talked about just the first couple of chapters, on Thursday last week. We're gonna be through chapter 10 this week, and it was fun because we had a couple of faces that haven't been there for a while, who returned after
Nice.
a couple of years, and I was
Oh,
just
Nice.
fun, yeah, and, just having that conversation. It's the conversation about what we're learning, and, it's strong ground,
Mhm.
we have to We
Speaking
have-
of what you just did, you held your strong ground.
I did.
Look
You
at
too.
you.
I was on strong ground for that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. So great book so far. Looking forward to learning more from Renee.
Great. That is awesome. And then we have book club going on. And then we have on the 11th of December, which really does sound like a long time away, you guys, but it's not.
That's just
It's
beautiful.
about not quite a month now. It's 3 weeks and a few days to the, I want to say, what's your word? I'm so used to the what's your
It's
word workshop.
Year end.
To the
Yeah,
year-end
year-end.
review that JC is going to do. And I just have to poke this. I mean, and just endorse it because I love, this will be, I think, the third or the fourth year-end review that I've done with JC. And she's a little bit newer with us than Jen. But it makes such a huge difference in the way I start my year.
Mhm.
We get in and we just ask these soul-searching questions about what the last year has been. And they're not awful hard questions. They're just not questions that I would normally consider.
Mhm.
And in that, and just by me taking the hour of time, just like the what's your word, I took the hour of time to do the work. In doing that, I end up with such a clear picture moving into where I need to go the first of the year. And then can you just kind of fill us in on the workshop itself and what people can expect? Because it really is powerful.
For the workshop, let me just start with a couple things you'll need. So you're going to need your calendar from this year, 2025 calendar, so you can kind of look back and see what you've done. And then you're going to think about your top 3 priorities in your life. So really, really, what are the top 3 priorities that you have in your life? So
What
your
matter most to you.
calendar, yeah, have your top 3 priorities, bring pen and paper, pencil and paper, and we're going to ask you some really thought-provoking questions that have to do with your calendar and your top life priorities. So, yeah.
And
That's
we'll
what
take
we're
an hour
doing.
and we'll work on it together. And
We
it'll
will.
be a safe place, absolutely safe place, very supportive, very loving. You won't need to use your R's or growl. It will be fine.
Yes. And I'm going to have to run, guys.
Yeah, you can work. Till next
Someone
time.
at my door.
We love you. Good
See you
luck,
guys.
Christine.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
I just fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every